Hey guys, Big Red 310 is here again with another set of reviews. Got a lot to do today, got 6 shows. But let me say, I am finally, and pardon my French, fucking finished. I finished my Black Friday order officially. I assumed I would finish it in mid-April, and it's almost exactly mid-April. Now I just have to deal with the eBay DVDs I bought, which are 14 in total. So the ROH reviews will keep coming. Okay, but yeah, let's go get to these. Let's go to Rising Above 2008. This is a great show, great pay-per-view. I would say this is the 4th best pay-per-view in Ring of Honor history, behind, this is not including the Big Bang, behind Driven, Man Up, and Take No Prisoners. The undercard was not really great, but just a lot of fun. The women's title match was a lot of fun. The opener was a lot of fun. The 4-corner style match was a lot of fun. The tag match was the 6-man was a lot of fun. Aries and Jacobs told an amazing story. They had an amazing brawling. It's not really a bloody I Quit match. It's more of a storytelling I Quit match. And Flair Funk is considered an epic classic because of that. So that's why this is 2. I like Lacey coming out. I liked her not hugging Aries at the end. I loved everything about this match. And it still had a bunch of brutal spots to go with it. The main event is great. In my opinion, though, it's their worst match between Nigel and Bryan. And their worst match is 4.5 stars. Actually, no, their worst match was at Epic Encounter 2. This is still okay, never mind. Then this is still great. I did not like Sugarfoot Alex Payne coming on and helping Danielson. I thought that was pointless. I thought that came out of fucking nowhere. Why does Alex Payne get to be involved with the main event? All it did is get the heat for Nigel taken away as the crowd started chanting Sugarfoot. He had to even tell them, no, chant Bryan, Bryan. So I did not like that at all. That kind of hurt the match in my opinion. Still 4.5 stars. And then the bonus match, Delirious and Titus had a pretty good match. And Joe and Black had a great match. I would say very good match. 3.5 to 3 3/4. 3 3/4 probably for Joe's return. Although I think Tyler should have won here. I don't care if it's a big moment, Joe's return. Tyler could have used a big win over Joe. That's just my opinion. But yeah, this is a great show. I would recommend picking it up. I would give it an 8.5. Next, we get to Injustice 2. I think this show is pretty underrated. The main event is awesome. 4.5 stars. I already talked about it in my top 100 match of the year video. The overbooking worked. I like the screw job. Actually, the only part I didn't like about it was they did not tell you on the DVD that he was screwed. You'd have to go on the video wires and news wires to find it out. And I think for a fan years and years from now who would pick up the show would be totally lost. So that's my only problem. Lynn and Danielson, I think, is very underrated. I give this 3 3/4. I thought it was really good. I have not seen their All-Star Extravaganza 4 match. But I still thought this was great. And I really think it is pretty underrated. The strap match was fun. The 3-way match was fun. The 4-corner survival was fun. And okay, I did not like the opener that much. But overall, I'd give the show a 7.5. There's two above average matches, one being awesome, and 3 really fun matches. So yeah, I'd give the show a 7.5. Injustice 2. Wait for a good sale, but for the most part, I actually would recommend picking this up in the future. You can get it for $10 in the DVD sale. Very fun show to sit through for me. Next week, Cage Collision, the shortest ROH show ever. This is this whole show I believe was 2 hours and 6 minutes, and I think that's the shortest they've ever done. This was not a very good show. It was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't very good. You know, a lot of people really hated this pay-per-view, and I can kind of understand. There's nothing great on here, but everything's pretty much fun to sit through. I found the opener to be a lot of fun to sit through. I found Claudio and Kevin to be funny because the crowd kept doing the A chants over and over. I found the Age of the Fall versus Lynn and Necro to be a lot of fun as well. Nice table spot. I found the 4-way I think is a little overrated, but I still think it is very good. I think the ROH title match is borderline great. I think it's the best match on this show with 3 3/4 stars. I definitely recommend checking it out. But the reason why this show only gets a 7 is because the main event is just super disappointing. I only gave it 3 1/4 stars. They didn't do anything. It was way too rushed. They kept bringing the guys. They said the time I think would be 2 minutes or 3 minutes. It ended up being 20 seconds. And a bunch of guys just randomly started coming out. Nice dive by Briscoe, but really this match is nothing to write home about. So I would only give it a 7. Yeah, a 7. It is, I think it's $15. It should be $15. And you can definitely get this for $10 on the $10 Big Ten DVD sale. But yeah, it's still a fun show to sit through. It's really short, so I think it's really easy to sit through, actually. Caged Collision. This was the show when I first became an ROH fan. ROH started to promote heavily. Well, not heavily, but when it aired. Next we get Eliminating the Competition. This show is heavily shitted on, and in my opinion, I think it's all well-deserved. I just did not have fun for the most part during this show. The opener was kind of blah. King and Titus or Stevenson, I'll admit, is kind of underrated. I kind of like the match. I kind of liked Albright and Castagnoli 3 1/4. I liked the tag match 3 1/4. I liked Danielson Delirious 3 1/4. Aries Callihan, I thought was okay, 2.5. Butcher and Brody Lee, I thought was okay, 2 3/4. I thought it was better than what I thought it would be, but I still didn't think it was that great. The main event I thought was super disappointing. I mean, I know it's not going to be a classic, but if you look at Nigel's matches in 4-ways at the French Connection and Death Before Dishonor 6, you could see why my hopes might be just a little bit too high. But I thought this match should have been a lot better than it was. I only gave this 3 1/4, maybe 3.5. Well, what rating can you give a show that has a bunch of 3 1/4 star matches and a bunch of matches that aren't really that good? I'd give the show a 6.5, a 6.75. You know, there were some good matches, but the show was just hard to sit through. And the main event definitely underperformed, in my opinion. I didn't like how Black got eliminated because he was trying to get back into the ring, and Jacobs from inside the ring drop-kicked him. Technically, Jacobs' foot will have gone outside of the ring, and that would have broken the count. That makes no sense. In all wrestling promotions, you can't just knock someone off the apron because you'll be extending your body over the ropes, and that would be considered getting out of the ring. I thought what they should have done was Jacob should have been on the outside and pull Tyler Black down, and after he was eliminated, pull him down, and then have Jerry and Nigel go at it for 10 minutes, and they could have had a great classic. I thought the match would have worked a lot better that way. I thought it would have been a lot more fun to watch. This show wasn't that fun to watch. It was kind of hard to sit through. I would give it a 6 points. I'd probably give it a 6.75 or 6.5. It rivals Eye of the Storm 2 for worst show of the year. I wouldn't really recommend it. But hey, if it's $10, it's $10. And I got this for free in a buy two, get one free sale. But I do think it is kind of underrated that people think it's god-awful. I don't think it's that bad. Stylin and Proflin. The show is very fun to sit through. Very good, actually, I would say. I would recommend picking this up for a cheap price. Roderick Strong vs. Jay Briscoe is the second best opener of the year in any wrestling promotion, behind probably the King of the Mountain match. I like it a lot. I think it's a little overrated, but I still think it's very fun, very good. MsChif Days Hates is a very fun women's match. The Four Corner Survival, again, is a lot of fun. I really like these fun Four Corner Survival matches. Great chemistry between Aries and Omega. The tag match is also great. A lot of fast-paced action. I wouldn't say great, but very good. 3.5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Then the show kind of starts to fall apart a little. King and Titus for Sherborne was okay. I'll give that 2.5. Didn't really enjoy it that much. Danielson and Bison Smith I thought was uber disappointing. I did not enjoy it that much. It was too short. I don't know why they did a count-out finish here. I mean, technically, why should Bison get a rematch? Danielson won clean. I mean, it was by count-out, but it's still winning clean. So, I didn't like it, and they never had a rematch, and I was really looking forward to this match. I only give it 2.5 stars, and that's pretty disappointing for a Bryan Danielson match. That's probably the worst Bryan Danielson match I've ever seen in my life. Age of the Fall versus Tyler Black and Jerry Lynn, I thought was good. I would give it 2 3/4, maybe 3 stars for a Delirious heel turn. And main event, I think, is really underrated. I would give that 3 3/4. They did a lot of great pace, a lot of fast-paced action. I hate the ending, though. It's DQ. And so, let me get this straight. Brent Albright beats Nigel in a non-title match, and then then Nigel gets disqualified in the title match. Why doesn't Brent Albright get another rematch? That makes no sense to me. Ric Flair debuted on the show. There's a lot on this show, but I found the first half to be so much fun, and I found the main event to be a lot of fun. It was just kind of the middle third, I guess. That was just kind of okay. But yeah, I would give the show a 7.75. I think if the show didn't collapse as much as it did towards the end, I thought this could be considered an 8, and definitely a show that's worth your time. But I'm afraid I can only give it a 7.75. But I still recommend picking it up. Stylin and Proflin. Definitely pick this up for $10 if you can find it. Finally, we get Contention. This show is a pretty much pointless show, but it still is a lot of fun to sit through. Well, it is pointless. After all, it's a Manassas show. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey! I call the Manassas shows the New York pre-show, because that's what they are. But the bonus match on here is okay. The 6-man tag is really funny. Cabana takes off his socks and shoes because he sees that Butcher and Redwood don't have them on, so he tried to do it. And it was a very fun match. A lot of fun. Necro Butcher ate a fucking bug. But the rating isn't very high, but I still say it was a lot of fun. Sean Pierce vs. Alex Payne was pretty okay. I think people underrated too much. People said it was total crap. I wouldn't say that. Danielson King started the Snapmares, where whenever they would do a Snapmare, the crowd would pop. And I thought that was a really funny story for the night. This was a pretty funny match, and pretty good match, I would say. Liked it. Just a little too short. Generico vs. Young Bucks, I think this match is really overrated. I still give it 3.5. I still think it's very good, but I definitely think it's by far the worst in their series on a hammer. But I still think it's a very good match and second best match of the night. Next we got the Four Corner Survival, which was also kind of fun. I would give it 2.5. They just didn't really do a lot. This is one of the Four Corner Survivals that I did not like, because I did not have fun, because it was a 3-on-1 match. I mean, you have 3 heels and 1 face. Jacobs and Dunn, I think, is very underrated. People thought this wasn't a very good return to Virginia because the crowd didn't care. I thought they cared a little, and I thought it was very fun to watch. 2 3/4. Jay and Davey was fun, 3.5, and Jerry and Tyler was very good, 3 3/4. More Snapmares. This show should have been related to Snapmares. I would give this show a 7.75 as well. Bigger than 10. I'm not